That's weird. That's weird. Kind of weirding me out.
You are a sad, strange little man.
Crazy. This is crazy.
Isn't that weird?
That's weird, man.
It's strange.
What's up, campers? Welcome back to episode 114 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
Do it again, but make it spookier.
Okay. Like Dracula voice?
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. What's up, campers? Welcome to episode 114 of Camp Strange. I am your camp counselor, Alex Tobin.
And I'm your other camp counselor, David Storr.
David Ghosts. Sounds like it.
Oh.
And we're back to bring the spooky, wacky, weird, strange, and Halloweeny. Halloweeny.
Halloweeny.
That's what I went for. I'm a vampire. David's a ghost. You guys, if you couldn't tell, this is the Halloween episode of Camp Strange. And, but before we tell you these longer stories, we got to catch you up on any of the weird news you may have missed. And we regret to inform you that we're not going to get that Halloween news that is going to happen on Halloween because we're recording this before. But next episode, we'll probably get a lot of, of the razor blades in the apples and pooping on your neighbor's lawn. And what do other people do at Halloween? Get COVID or something? Hopefully not. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are doing. Wear a mask. That's literally that's the holiday. Wear the mask. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
David, you've been very quiet over there.
Costco is pulling products allegedly made with forced monkey labor.
Okay. I want to talk about this story, but you sound like a half old man from Costco who's at Costco.
Yeah.
Who's
He's the one with the vest at the front, making sure no one's stealing anything. But you could steal shit anyways.
They don't look at that receipt. I worked at Costco.
No.
They don't fucking really look.
Where haven't you worked?
Arby's.
Who hasn't fired
Arby's, and I refuse to. They call me every day. Yeah, you're the guy in Costco who's like, my coconut milk tastes like monkey hands. So read that again, David.
Yeah, I mean, God, you know how excited I get whenever a good monkey story comes around. And Costco is pulling products allegedly made with forced monkey labor.
Okay, I also saw this, and I read a little bit of it, and I was like, I think David's going to like this, or he's going to be very, very sad because of what they're doing to your monkey brethren. And do you know what they're doing? I was like, I wouldn't trust monkeys to make my coconut water. I feel like that's a misstep.
They're teaching them to climb up trees and grab coconuts, right? Coconuts, right?
Exactly. I think that's what they're doing. They said something about chains, and I was like, oh, that's so sad. But I guess they're plucking coconuts out of trees and stuff like that.
Yeah, it says a chained up monkey can pick around 400 coconuts in a day, which is, whoa. I mean, treat them a little nicer, maybe. Give them a coconut here and there.
Here's the thing, though. I disagree with using monkeys for, labor and chaining them up and everything like that. But, honestly, if you get a monkey and you can pick 400 coconuts in a day, I'm pretty sure that's better than most humans, possibly, depending on how high these trees are and where they are.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So if you paid a monkey, and what do monkeys eat? Bananas, right? What?
I mean, they'll eat just about anything. I'm pretty sure.
If you pay them in bananas, the same wage as you pay a human, is that ethical? Or do monkeys don't know that they're working, or I don't, because I would hire monkeys if they were doing a good job. They're doing a great job.
Yeah. Oh man, did you see the little photo of the monkey with that white T-shirt on with a bunch of Chinese writing on it, and then it's got a water bottle in its hand, and there's a guy with a orange bag. I don't know what's going on. Oh, he's collecting trash at a park in China. I don't know if that's actually related to the story.
This is not okay, guys. Let them be monkeys. Just let them Whatever coconuts you get to keep. And then here's the thing: if you want to trade in some coconuts for some nanners, we got the guy over here. It's Harry Belafonte. Hey, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Right?
So it turns out they're actually
Famous Beetlejuice song, dude.
they're
love the
charging
Beetle.
they're charging about $5 for kids, $10 for adults, so that you can come and watch these monkeys collect coconuts.
Okay. This is getting a
I think
little
that's where it draws
ridiculous.
the line.
Yeah. I don't pay to go watch the people fold shirts at Gap. I just go there and do it.
I go and I knock over the display so I can watch those teenagers fold those Gap shirts.
I wrestle the faceless mannequins until they tell me the truth about what they did with my dad.
No, doesn't Gap have the really scary mannequins that have the really intense faces?
They're getting scarier by the day. I don't know. All of them are getting scarier. I don't like them.
That's for sure.
They're becoming too lifelike. We're hitting a what's it called? An uncanny valley with these mannequins. They're becoming almost too lifelike. They're striking weird poses too nowadays.
I'm just noticing, especially because this article is highlighting these related news articles in a beautiful shade of blue with, hyperlinks. The first related story to the monkeys collecting coconuts is, in quotes, "Oh my God," and it says, "Kangaroo fights with koala."
The Australian battle of the century.
And then the next related story is terrifying tarantula with wings. Oh, we got another one. Scroll down a little bit.
It just sounds like you're on an Australian news channel, I think.
Monkey snap selfies on stolen phone.
That sounds more like a Thailand thing.
I kept scrolling, expecting there to be a fourth, but they went with the magical number of 3. Oh, wait, no, there's one more. Barbaric testing lab allowed to stay open. I don't know. That's not fun. That doesn't sound like
David
anybody.
really ended that one off strong.
The worst part is that's the first one.
Oh, they got one more. Barbaric testing lab allowed to stay open. Well, that wraps it up for today, guys. We told you this was going to be a spooky episode, and we fucking held our promise, okay? It's scary, and you should know that these things exist, because ignorance is bliss, and you know what? We don't want to be blissful today. We want to stop all of these monkey laboratories, even if they're picking delicious coconut, because you know why? You can't put makeup on a monkey. That's illegal now. You can't. That's what they do for like makeup testing, right?
Yeah.
You can't have them picking coconuts. You can't have them picking up trash. That's human work, okay? Let the monkeys. They didn't ask for a civilized society. They were okay with swinging from trees and eating bananas upside down, which is the correct way. So why don't you leave them be, and we could go, do our TikToks and Subways and Gap fights, or you fight at the Gap, which is where
I cannot express how much I regret clicking on this barbaric
Please don't
article.
Stop bringing it up. I worked my way out of it, David, and you're bringing it back up.
The first sentence of this article says, "Warning, graphic."
Is this your date? Is this your dating profile or the article?
It's bad. Oh my God!
Please stop.
I'm not going to read the headline.
Okay,
It's
well,
bad.
well, speaking of graphic, I do have another news story right here.
No, okay.
As cannibals lured victim to cabin in Oklahoma woods, performed illegal castration.
I don't like any of that.
I told you this is going to be a weird one, but I had to do this because I was reading it and it was so crazy and interesting. I feel like this could be a whole episode in itself. But apparently 2 men were accused Wednesday in criminal charge of performing an illegal gender reassignment surgery on a volunteer at their cabin in the woods and then keeping the body parts in a freezer, possibly to eat later. So this guy named Bobby Lee Allen, who's 53, and Thomas Evan Gates, who's 42, were arrested on the 15th of October. And the sheriffs were like, we don't know if this is a cult or not. They're obviously like living in the woods. There's like a couple guys, But apparently there was a 28-year-old victim who had flown from Virginia to Dallas and then was driven to the cabin in southeast Oklahoma for the surgery. And I guess the victim made contact with Allen through a website while searching online about castrations and related terms. And this motherfucker was like, he said the victim reported Allen claimed that to have 15 years of experience and that he had videos of procedures for personal use. And he also told him that the surgery wouldn't cost him anything. And then this is crazy. The victim told investigators that Allen performed the removal on October 12th on a covered makeshift table at the residence, and that Gates. I mean, why is this guy like? Come on, stop! Like, there's a point where you start saving money. You pay for quality, and I feel like if you're going to a deep cabin in the Oklahoma woods with two guys who's like, I'll do it for free. There's something up. There's something. He's getting something out of this, you know. And so on a makeshift table, residents at the Gates helped by handling over the surgical equipment, according to the affidavit. And the victim said that he was awake for about 2 hours during the surgery after being injected in the needed areas. And then when the surgery was over, that Allen said that he was going to consume the parts and laughed and said that he was a cannibal. I guess the guy can't hold it in any longer. He's like, but I mean, it's kind of crazy because he said the victim also said that Allen then talked about the time he worked on someone, and he described to be crazy, and that he left the male opened up to die overnight. What does that mean?
Oh.
He worked on...
That means he sliced them open, left them open, and he didn't sew them back up.
But he said the time he worked on someone that he described to be crazy, so the guy apparently was crazy, and he cut him open and was like, I'm going to let him die overnight?
Okay, a little kind of Dexter-like shit there, maybe?
I don't know. It's kind of crazy because the victim also said that Allen had 6 more clients on the way to have the same operation, and that Allen informed him that he had a freezer with body parts and showed him pictures on his phone.
Okay.
So these guys are like full-blown wrong turn fucking cannibals who are being like, we could do gender reassignment surgeries, and then just cutting off like penises and keeping them in a freezer. I mean, I guess it's like good if you don't want your penis anymore, but like I don't think they're skilled enough to be making anything else out of that, right?
Yeah, I don't fucking know, man. But I mean, the person signed up for it, didn't they?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, but the charges here are, I think you can't do gender reassignment surgery if you're not a doctor, and also cannibalism, which is,
not okay.
Yeah. So he also said Allen told him that if he passed out or died, that he would dump him in the woods. What the fuck, man?
Yeah, that's not good.
He said that Allen instructed him to say he done it to himself once he arrived at the hospital. So literally all this guy did was chop off his penis and go to the hospital to get stitched up. Like,
isn't that your job?
Yeah. This guy's only job was to cut the penis off. Like, well, I guess because doctors probably won't do that unless they medically have to.
Yeah.
But then they said he also told him that the men also tried to get him to participate in cannibalism, according to the affidavit. So he's like, here, eat your own penis, or maybe somebody else's penis or something.
Yeah, who knows?
And
good old mystery grab out of the bag.
See what you get. Ooh, it feels like a bowl of noodles. Ooh, it feels like eyes. What are these grapes? What are these peeled grapes? Nope.
Grab a winner.
They're eyes. But in a search of the cabin October 15th, investigators found a plastic bag which appeared to be testicles. There we go. There's the grapes. Oh, damn it. Okay. In a deep freeze in the bedroom. And in the castration, they faced felony counts of conspiracy to commit unlicensed surgery, performing unlicensed surgery, maiming, and assault and battery with a dangerous weapon, and also misdemeanor counts of failure to bury the removed parts. Really?
Huh.
You're supposed to bury those things?
That's just one of those weird random laws that they use just to get you another count on.
Yeah, I think it's more of like an in poor taste crime where like people were like, "Oh, we amputated his hand and we want to put it on the mantle," and people were like, you can't. That's unsanitary, and
You gotta bury that hand.
go bury it. And you're like, "Can I bury it anywhere?" They're like, "No, you gotta pay $5,000 to bury it at a place," and you're like, okay.
An extra $12,000 just to get a headstone.
Seriously, it's an arm stone at that point, but
It's very true.
such a fucking crazy story that I
Very Halloween-esque.
It's very Halloween. It's not very funny, but like I think this is something that you guys could really tell everybody at the water cooler about. You guys know about Oklahoma Woods? You guys know about the Oklahoma Woods?
Oh, let me tell you.
Frozen balls in a bag if you want some. Just don't take all of them. Just take one. Don't be greedy. Okay? They leave the bowl on the porch so you don't be greedy.
To confirm, they took the berries and not the twig.
No, I think they took them all, but like when the police were going through, they were like, "Oh, this is a bag of testicles," and then they were like going through like,
"Oh, I've seen this one before."
The guy's like, "I know exactly what this shit is."
No need to send this one to the lab. I know exactly what this
You're
is.
like, "Give me these." Opens the bag, pops one in. Yep. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He should have buried these.
Let me guess. He's about 6'8".
This guy ate pineapple.
A slim 110.
This guy, pineapple eater. Okay, I'm done.
He had some teriyaki chicken 2 days ago.
That's not how that works. 2 days ago.
All right, I got another news story here. It's pretty Halloween themed. Why did Oregon health official dress up like a clown and read off the coronavirus death toll?
Dude, this is your state. You better explain.
Holla at Oregon. Yeah, I'm reading the article. And,
wait, is this Joker? Joker love chaos.
That's the only answer. Is she's the Joker, baby.
She loves when people die.
So I love in the article, it says that she takes off her face mask to reveal that she was painted as a clown.
Wait, this is the Joker.
God's
This is the fucking scene in the Joker where like Two-Face is like strapped to the bed and he removes the fucking cloth mask.
Yeah, but it's also, you look at the lady, they don't have a photo of her with the mask on, but it's like the mask's only going to cover up her nose and mouth while her eyes are still painted like a clown, like the big white.
Yeah, that's the scene from the Joker. Have you seen
I know, that's what I'm saying. But it's
not the scene
funny
from the Joker, it's the scene from the Dark Knight.
It's just funny how it says the video kicked off a Halloween safety. So kicking off the Halloween safety video by removing her surgical mask to reveal a full face clown makeup, somewhat reminiscent of the Joker and one of Batman's creepiest rivals. But
This person knows nothing about the Joker. I know everything about the Joker. He's my idol. I have a big tattoo on my back of him.
Yeah, I saw that. That's not what you think it is. You can't see it.
No one gets us. Hand me my.
You actually have Clayman tattooed on the back of your face.
His name is Clayface. And
Whatever.
Clayface is actually in a different spot. You have to spread some areas to find Clayface.
Gotta pick up some rolls.
Clayface is hard to get off.
So, Robbie Cowie, the communications director of OHA, said, "We regret that."
Wait, but was she trying to be Heath Ledger's Joker in that scene where like he's dressed up like a nurse lady and then
No.
like, oh, okay, so
She's got a real classical hobo clown paint. Since we
Oh,
did
we did do the hobo.
talk about clowns on one episode, and she's definitely got a hobo paint job going here, but she did dye her hair like a gross dark green, like the Joker, baby.
See, this might be like a half-ass. Like she's like, Joker has green hair, right? And then she just didn't watch the movie and was.
I think she didn't want to fully commit to the Heath Ledger Joker, and she definitely didn't want to fully commit to the saint and savior of all human race, Jared Leto Joker.
Yeah, you know how I got this hobo clown makeup? I lost my fucking job due to coronavirus. I'm a hobo now. Why so poor? But like, it's very interesting because it's also not Halloween. So, was this like?
No, it's close enough.
Yeah, but like, I would think people would do it on Friday, today, if you're listening to this, on like the day before Halloween. But she's like, I have a big press conference where I have to read death numbers off. Honey, get me the fucking makeup. Mommy gonna look like a hobo clown today. Did she have the 5 o'clock shadow and the blown up cigar in her mouth?
No, but she was eating a cold can of beans.
Shut the fuck up. Oh. A cold can of beans with like the lid still hanging off is like the
you
best.
can't lose the lid.
That's so
can't
cool.
Lose the lid.
You guys ever?
That's my shiv.
Yeah, I just said you guys. Hey, if you're in your car listening to this, respond. You guys ever seen Dennis the Menace? Where like the movie with Walter Matthau, where like Dennis goes down.
Are there other ones?
There's like a cartoon, there's like a show, there's like probably shitty movies, but that's the only one that I know about. And there's a scene where like he goes down to like the river with Christopher Lloyd of Back to the Future fame, and he's like a homeless guy down there, and I think he drops like a handcuff key in the beans, and then he eats it and swallows the handcuff key. But that's all I ever think about. He's like the best hobo in any movie. He's so fucking creepy, but like.
Was he the one that he cut the apple up?
Yes.
With the
oh my
knife?
God, dude! I think about that.
Because I tried to do that as a child. I cut my thumb open.
Dude, I think about that scene often. There's a kid on a swing. And he cuts the apple with the fucking switchblade, and then he eats the apple, and then he offers it to the kid. He offers him a piece of apple, and the kid's like, no, or something like that. He's like a little cute weird kid, but like,
God, I want to watch that scene so bad.
I wanted to cut an apple with the fucking switchblade so bad, but like, imagine like
I grabbed my mom's switchblade and tried it. She kept it sharp.
It was covered in blood, but like
it went through that apple like butter.
But honestly, like if you think about that scene, that scene never would have happened today. People would have been like, "Yeah, there's a homeless man with a switchblade at the park. You need to fucking come here right now." He's watching the kids intently and eating an apple. This is not okay.
He's offering the children his apple.
Oh, I'm so glad. I don't know why we haven't watched this movie together because it's so good. There's another scene also from that movie that's really good, and that's where he sucks up all the paint with the vacuum cleaner, and then he hits reverse and it shoots it up and it lands on the chicken on the barbecue, and then Walter Matthau's eating the chicken later in the movie, and he goes, "Oh my God, I remember that." I always remember he goes, "Tastes like paint."
Yeah.
You remember that? He goes, "Tastes like paint." And it's like you're chewing on the chewy little piece of chicken. The chicken still looked pretty good, I think. I don't remember.
It was a yogurt chicken.
Greek. It's called Greek, Walter.
I don't have any memory of watching Dennis the Menace, but now that I think of all these scenes, I know every scene to the very fine detail, but I just never realized that was Dennis the Menace.
Yeah, and there's like another scene. I'll do this all fucking night, you guys. This is a this is a
buckle
creepy
in.
podcast. But my other
should we skip our stories and just break down Dennis the Menace?
This might be a new podcast that you guys need to be. We're just gonna break down obscure movies you forgot about. Last thing,
we're gonna turn 2 minutes into an hour episode, so this is gonna be a long series.
But last scene is when he has the fucking teeth and he's talking through like Mr. Wilson's dentures, and he goes nah, nah, and he like slams them shut, and the 2 front teeth fall out down the sink, and he puts the chiclets in front of like where his 2 front teeth were, and then he goes to take the picture for like the flower club because he has a flower that like is the most beautiful flower and only blooms for literally 1 second every 12 years, and they miss it, and he misses it or something. Sorry, I'm done.
Man, it's just like
I like
that
how you're
kid sucks. Dennis the Menace sucks. That kid's a little shithead.
If you're an adult,
and also
you hate him.
all of these things Dennis the Menace did were so easily avoidable if you just fucking looked.
Just killed him.
But if you just looked at the chicken and said, "Oh, hey, there's paint on this chicken. I'm not going to eat this." You look at your dentures before you slap them in your big old gob and you say, "Hey, those aren't my front fucking teeth."
And if like you just weren't like a pedophilic homeless man who liked to eat beans down by the creek, then you would avoid swallowing a handcuff key. Mm-hmm. It's as easy as that.
Who was wearing the handcuffs? I don't remember that.
I think he like did something with the handcuffs where like he handcuffed like his foot to his hand, or then like his butt caught on fire. I don't fucking remember. It was weird.
I need to watch this movie.
I'm gonna watch it right now.
I bet the whole thing is on YouTube. Yeah, let's take like a what? How long's this movie? Like an hour and a half?
Not long enough.
Let's take an hour and a half break and just sit down, get comfy, light a fire, make some popcorn.
Is this Halloween enough?
Watch this.
Is Halloween enough for you guys? Sorry.
Dennis the fucking Menace.
It's a horror movie.
Happy Halloween.
So anyway, let's
hold on. Let's go, Dennis.
Jesus, David.
The Menace. 1993.
That was one.
1993. Oh God, that kid looks like a nightmare. I don't remember him.
I love Problem Child too. We could talk about Problem Child a lot. That one's good. I love bad kids.
Yeah, you know what Dennis the Menace's last name is?
Menace.
Mitchell. Kind of disappointing.
Yeah, not as good as Menace.
Where do I get the runtime here, huh?
Why does it matter at this point? The runtime on this podcast is going to be very high now because we talk about
trivia.
Dennis the Menace.
Trivia. The nursery rhyme to which Dennis falls asleep to is Wyken, Blyken, and Nod by Eugene Field. That's not a fun trivia.
It's not. But you know it is fun. These stories we're about to tell you, right, David?
Well, hold on now.
Oh, my God.
They have a... On the Did You Know section of IMDb, did you know there's a whole category called Crazy Credits?
No. I don't even know the website you just said.
IMDb?
Oh, they said Digi something.
Digimon.
Digital Monsters?
Yeah, is this in the Marvel universe? Because there's an after credit scene.
And it has Nightwing in it. Nightwing.
Nightwing.
Fuck, that's DC.
Batman's buddy.
I know. I'm thinking of Nighthawk. Who's Anthony Mackie? He's the worst.
The Falcon?
He's the worst.
I like Anthony Mackie.
I like him. I think he's.
I want to have a beer with Anthony Mackie in the backyard.
What?
And just talk about America.
Yeah, he just has like a backpack, and now he's like a superhero. Anyway,
yeah.
Good jet fighter, I guess. Anyway,
you want to hear about this crazy credit scene?
I don't. No. I'm rubbing the bridge of my nose extremely hard.
Well, now I need to go back and see if there's a crazy credit scene for the Chupacabra Terror.
There's probably a crazy credit scene for that, for sure.
During the end credits, there's an additional scene with Dennis at Alice's workplace, who was forced to take him with her to work following the aftermath of Mr. Wilson getting hit. After getting hit in the forehead with a burnt marshmallow.
I remember that.
And tries to help Andrea make copies of documents, only to wind up getting her face into the copy scanner when her necklace gets caught in the machine, and Dennis runs off in fear and alerting many of the other office workers. 4 out of 4 people found this interesting. Do I want to share this? Yeah.
Can I put this on my resume? Anyway, David, as much as we love these...
I'm going to share this to the Camp Strange Twitter.
As much as we love these Dennis facts, we should probably get into these stories before these people turn off this podcast altogether, burn their phones, and never think of us ever again. So let's do this. Now, David, many spooky and strange things happen on October 31st, since it is the day where the veil between our world and the spirit world is at its thinnest. From spirits coming back to life to reclaim the homes that once were theirs, to long-lost cryptids crawling out from their deep, dark holes to feed for the night. There is always something spooky taking place on the night of Halloween. Today, though, I'm here to talk about the most strange thing to ever happen on Halloween that took place in 1864 on the west coast of America. What?
I really thought we were going to bring the same story to the table tonight.
No, you definitely don't have these stories. I have 2.
good.
So, like I said, it took place in 1864 on the west coast of America. Something so horrifying, so sinister, so confusing that people still talk about it today. Because October 31st, 1864, was the day in which Nevada, the 36th state, became an official territory of the USA. And that is why today I will be discussing 2 haunted locations in the gold mining, tumbleweedy, and lawless state of Nevada.
Ooh.
So
You like Nevada?
well, I just said it's horrifying, sinister, and confusing.
Yeah.
Nevada's a very...
Do you like it?
I mean, if there's anybody listening from Nevada, I love Nevada. But on the other hand, Nevada is kind of like a weird middle ground because it's just like a lot of desert.
It's like California without beaches.
Yeah, but it's kind of cool though too because it is like a very lawless place. So it's kind of like it's romanticized in a weird way. It's like an oasis. You know, there's a lot of like oasis draw to it where it's like, I don't know. There's something romantic. There's the mafia founded Vegas, and like I don't know much about like other parts of Nevada, so I don't think it's very fair to me to like shit on Nevada because I haven't been to like. There's probably like lush forests in the northern parts or something that I just don't know about. But I only know about like Postcard Nevada, which is like a nice tumbleweed in a ghost town, and like it used to be a huge mining state where you would strike it rich. So. It's a very interesting past, and I find it. I do like Nevada. I do like Nevada.
I spent a buttload of my childhood in Las Vegas.
Why?
My sister, shout out to Bailey. She was a big basketball hoopster, big slam dunker.
UNLV?
And growing up, no. But growing up, she was always doing like what do you call those
tournaments out there?
Yeah, she'd do a lot of like, what is it called, AAU or whatever? It's like that, not like the high school season, but it's like where all the good players play.
Oh, okay.
And the like off-season thing, and she would always have tournaments in Las Vegas, and so like my family would always go to Las Vegas when I was a little kid.
Shout out, baller. Okay, that's cool. I mean, I feel like they do have a lot of like sports tournaments out there because it is a draw. Like people want to go to Vegas from like all over, so Nevada.
It's fun for parents to take their like teenage kids there and lock them in a hotel room, and then they can go gamble and smoke cigarettes.
It's very true. I've been to Reno as well. Reno's weird. I like Reno, but I mean, I like the weird. I like the weirdness of it. Like it's so like sometimes campy and trashy, but like there's some charm about it that I actually really do like, and it's fun. So I mean, if you ever seen Reno 911, that's it wrapped up right there. It's like Portlandia, but for Reno. It's great. So let's get into the first location that I want to discuss. Like I said, I have 2 locations in Nevada that I want to discuss. So let's get into the first one. So the first one is Pyramid Lake. And Pyramid Lake is located on the Paiute Tribe Reservation. I might have got that wrong. If you are a Paiute Native American, I apologize. But a Paiute Tribe Reservation just north of Reno. The lake gets its name from the irregular rocky pyramid formations jutting above the waterline that span across the 15-mile long and 11 miles wide body of water. Although the calm waters seem like your typical tourist destination for boating, swimming, and other summer activities, many guests who visit the lake every year don't end up leaving once they enter. Ooh. So below the waterline lies depths up to 350 feet that cascade into the blackness and mystery. Although most believe that the water is home to the typical fish, birds, and plant life, and when I say birds, I just mean not like drowned birds. I just mean like they come by and they scoop up a fish. They're not water birds.
I'm pretty sure every single person that heard you say that knew you were talking about aquatic birds, not birds that were dead in water.
Well, you never know. It's a creepy lake.
Fucking psycho.
Oh, but you think I'm crazy.
I mean, I'm sure there's at least 1 or 2 dead birds in the water, but
well, you think I'm crazy, but wait until you find out what's actually in this water. But like I said, although many people believe there's fish, birds, and plant life, some truly know what lies deep down in the darkness. The things responsible for those missing people that never resurface once submerged. That's right, David. I'm talking about the water babies.
Oh, I like the water babies.
So there are many legends surrounding the origin of the water babies, but the most common version tells of the Paiute tribe and their actions long ago that cursed these waters. See, legend says that long ago the Paiute tribe would constantly strive to grow their numbers for self-preservation and protection in the form of constant pregnancies among the women of the tribe, which is, very similar for everybody back in the day. You're just like, we need more numbers, And when a baby was born, it was checked to see if it was healthy and strong in order to maintain the strength of the tribe. But if a baby was to arrive premature or malformed, the tribe knew that the child was to most likely be a burden on the group and could not be taken in. This is sad. A solution to this problem came in the form of Pyramid Lake, as the deformed infants were to be thrown into the icy waters, never to be seen again. Like I said, this is tragic. This is something that did happen not only amongst the Paiute tribe, but among many, Native Americans and, you could even say like Europeans or, Asian countries, African countries. It was
the Druids sacrificed people. Like, everybody fucking sacrificed people back then.
But this,
I guess this isn't a sacrifice.
Yeah, this is more of like we don't have the medical
recycling bin.
Yeah, we don't. Wait, what?
What?
We don't have the medical, things that we. I'm a lawyer, not a doctor guy. I am a man of science.
Nah.
I am not a doctor, but I do sometimes play one on TV. But we don't have the proper science techniques and stuff to help these children when they're born. So a lot of the time, to put them out of their misery or to not burden the tribe with having to take care of a child that was, very sick or needed a lot of special treatment, they would usually just put it out of its misery, which is sad, but a thing that happened. And although the story is sadly typical among early people, Pyramid Lake is said to be haunted by the spirits of those babies who perished below the waves. It is said that shrieking and crying can be heard coming from the lake late into the night. It is also said that many fishermen and boaters go out onto the lake only to have their boats be found with no passengers on board.
Okay, what are a bunch of little babies going to do?
So, what do you think babies... Okay, David...
They cry for food?
No, when babies are in numbers, they're very powerful. Everybody knows that.
Would you rather fight a 15-foot tall baby or 1,500 babies?
A 15-foot tall baby.
So easy to trick.
He's still not coordinated. He's gonna go down easy. He could barely walk. I know you're doing the duck-sized horses of the horse-sized duck, right?
Yeah, that math didn't really equate.
It's hard.
You know where I was going with
I get it. But yeah,
I don't know babies.
I'm
I try to hold babies in public and people get mad. They say, "Who are you? Let go of my child."
You gotta ask them first, and I go, "This baby."
Oh, I ask them, and that gets the cops called quicker than if you just grab them.
I usually grab the baby, and I go. They go, "What are you doing?" I go, "I'm going to Pyramid Lake. This thing's malformed." And they go, "No, it just looks like its father." And then I look over and it's David, and I have to. Everything comes together at that point. I go,
"That's my seed."
And then I pick up David and I go, "This thing's malformed." And I run to Pyramid Lake.
It's because I look like Voldemort at the end of the Harry Potter movies underneath that bench at the train station.
Oh, curled up, all in a fetal position, crying.
The listeners that don't know what I look like, that's what I look like.
Can't you tell from the sound of his voice? So
that's what I look like.
So, and also, like, these babies, like I said, they're water babies. Like, they know the water. You're in their territory now, so it's like they have the upper hand.
Okay.
You know. So
Did we ever find out if Mike Tyson beat that great white shark in the boxing match?
we don't know still to this day, but he is alive.
They're still fighting.
So I'm gonna ask Leo. He probably knows the numbers on those great white sharks very well. He's like, we need to stop Mike Tyson. He's killed 40,000 great white sharks so far.
He only threw one punch and he killed 40,000.
So when rescue teams search the waters for these missing folks, most are never found, believed to be dragged down to the depths of the lake by the deformed babies that lie below. Actually, now that I think about it, very similar to Jason Voorhees of Friday the 13th.
Yeah, there's a deal on iTunes right now that you can get like the first 8 Friday the 13ths on like Apple TV for $20. And so I was like, I don't know if I've ever seen the old ones. And I started looking at the trailers, and my God, those first 8 look so fucking bad.
I mean, in the first one, it's not even Jason Voorhees who's the killer. It's his mom. Sorry, spoiler, but like
It's Kevin Bacon.
It's his mom, Kevin Bacon. It's the Bacon.
Hey, it's your mother, Kevin Bacon.
He fucking footlooses a kick right into your face and knocks your head right into the Camp Crystal Lake.
He's in that, right?
I honestly don't know.
In the trailer,
He probably does.
Laying in a bed.
I think I saw. Wait, what? He got stabbed.
The trailer was so fucking weird. It would just show someone right before they got killed, and it'd be like 1, and it would like show a girl running through the woods, and it'd be like 2, and it did this all the way to 13.
Oh, that's fun. That's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kevin Bacon's probably in that. I know Johnny Depp was in Nightmare on Elm Street. He's the guy that gets sucked into the bed and then spat up onto the ceiling, blood style.
Hell yeah!
That's how
Way to go, Johnny.
That's how every great actor starts off.
You start off getting sucked into the bed, and you end having someone shit on your bed.
Oh,
I hope everybody got that one.
that was Tortuga who did that. That's a really bad pirate joke. Anyway, so a local guide of the lake told the local paper, can you tell they're local? Local guide, local paper. But he said, I've never seen an actual water baby, liar, but I have seen a number of inexplicable things on the sonar. Images appear out of nowhere on the screen, then suddenly disappear. Kind of creepy.
So this is recent enough that we got sonars. It's still going on today?
Oh, the babies are stronger than ever.
Oh, I love that.
I threw a DVD of Baby Geniuses into the water, and
You saw a rocket ship come out of the water.
they loved it. They're going to Liechtenstein as we speak.
Yo, throwback. You know what? That's a good connection because you know where Baby Geniuses was filmed?
Where?
Las Vegas.
Wait, how do you know that? What the fuck?
Because I remember there's a scene.
Oh,
where
here
they're
we
on a
go
roller
again.
coaster, and it was it was a roller coaster in Vegas.
Oh,
Circus.
Yeah. The inside thing with the
Circus
giant
Circus.
fucking creepy 15-foot baby. That's like the mascot. Remember that shit? That's what I was picturing when you said fight a 15-foot baby. That's what I was picturing.
Okay.
That horrifying monster in that movie. Anyway.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
sorry. Sorry, I have nightmares.
It's okay.
I have nightmares. I'm okay.
The baby's not gonna get
I'm
you.
okay. Also, the baby from Rugrats. The big one,
The
one that
blimp?
like Angelica has like a nightmare about, and it's like you're gonna eat that piece of cheese, and then like fucking eats the cheese. Remember that? Fucking
So
horrifying.
very vaguely.
It's so scary. Anyway, so although most believe that the water babies are responsible for the capsized boats and drowned swimmers, there is also another legend that tells of a Paiute tribesman who fell in love with a mermaid from the lake. And when he brought her back to the tribe, they rejected her, so she placed a curse on the lake to kill those who enter its waters. So that's fun.
Yeah.
And there's something just so horny. God, I wish.
I mean, there goes all the lake activities.
You know, everybody's
this
like,
summer.
you know, like the meme is like, oh, I want a goth girlfriend. I want a goth girlfriend. No. I want a mermaid girlfriend.
You're only concerned about the top half, huh?
No, I want the whole package. And for you ladies out there, go find yourself a nice merman. Because there's nothing sexier. Okay, let me just ask you
Than
this.
scales.
Do you like Olympic gold medals? That's what I'm asking because
Yeah.
Michael Phelps. You remember him? He smoked weed and won all the gold medals.
I remember him hitting that big old
Oh,
ball.
remember when everybody was like,
Oh, yeah.
you can't smoke weed and win Olympic gold medals? And he's like, guess fucking what? I'm hungry.
I eat the Wheaties with my face on.
I got the
while I'm
munchies for
stoned.
gold medals, motherfuckers. I'm going to eat all the gold medals. But that's crazy to think about how they're like, that was like a controversy. Like, he smoked weed. And he's like,
Oh, yeah. That was such a big deal.
and he's like, yeah, who cares? And they're like, well, now it's illegal, so no one gives a fuck anymore. But, like, he got, like, a lot of shit.
he's an Olympic swimmer. They're known for having insanely good lungs. You cannot be an Olympic swimmer without good lungs. So it's like if he's, smoking the devil's lettuce.
That's why they legalized
while winning
it.
all this shit.
They're like, damn, you could win gold medals on weed? Hell yeah. I wish he was
And now
high when he
I mean-
swam.
And now the NBA hasn't been better since.
So, you're right. So, whether it's cursed waters, vicious mermaids, or water babies, one thing is for sure, and that is that Lake Pyramid can be dangerous. Sorry, that's my my fridge filling up with water babies.
That's why you gotta unplug it like I do.
I don't do
Make sure
that.
you plug it back in.
Then all the penises in the freezers go bad. I don't want to do
That's
that.
true.
So I'll read that again. Whether it's cursed waters, vicious mermaids, or water babies, one thing is for sure, and that is that Lake Pyramid can be dangerous if one does not pay close attention to their surroundings. So next time you decide to take your kayak out on the lake, make sure you watch for cursed capsizing waves, mermaid tails, and deformed baby hands, because it only takes a couple seconds to end up being pulled down to the dark depths of the waters of Lake Pyramid.
Oh,
Pretty scary, huh?
yeah.
I'm just picturing-
My biggest fear is water I can't see the bottom of. So I mean,
My biggest fear is like literally hundreds of tiny little like gray deformed baby hands coming out of the water and like grabbing my legs. That's like some Silent Hill shit. And they're just like pulling
Yeah.
me down. Like, that's so scary. Like,
Yeah.
people get like, seaweed touch my foot. Like, next time you think about it, maybe it's a baby hand.
might be just a little baby
Softer
pinky.
than a piece of seaweed, as they say. But
It's been in there for a while.
it's nice and soft and wrinkly like a raisin. You ever feel a raisin touch your foot in the bathtub? Similar.
I don't think I have.
You never
we
play
had a
raisin.
strict.
You ever play raisin bobbing?
I grew up in a household that had a strict no raisins in the bathtub rule.
Yeah, I didn't have a childhood, you son of a bitch. So let me tell you about my other one, though, because Nevada is, I mean, let's not get it wrong. Nevada is full of great folklore. They got so many goddamn haunted mines you could shake a stick at, something like that. What are they? Tumbleweedy, tumbleweedy. David, what are you doing over there?
I was pretending to shake something.
Yeah, it's like a stick. So let's go to the next one, and that is the Goldfield Hotel. So, the Goldfield Hotel is now abandoned. David, you like the Goldfield Hotel? What are you laughing at over there, buddy?
I'm laughing at you because you just flipped me off over
I
FaceTime.
did. You're fucking with the FaceTime. Stop fucking with the FaceTime. He's changing his aspect ratio, and it's pissing me off. So, the Goldfield Hotel is a now abandoned hotel located about 250 miles southeast of Carson City in the small town of Goldfield. See, the Goldfield Hotel opened in 1908 and was built on the same site. Oh, I'm going to throw up. Sorry. Was built on the same site as the previous Nevada Hotel that was destroyed in a fire in 1905. David, what do we always say? You don't.
We say a lot of stupid shit.
You're
what?
right. But we don't build a hotel on an already burnt down hotel. Okay?
Yeah.
That's cursed land. We already know that. People are probably dead in that fire. It was 1904 when it burned down. 1905 when it burned down.
Yeah.
People didn't know where exits were. They didn't have the nice glowing signs that you see nowadays. Everyone was
Those college kids headbutt off the ceiling.
Yeah, everyone's like running and Everyone's running into the bathroom and grabbing the doorway, and putting their arms to the side, and they're like, I'm going to survive the fire. And then somebody's like, that's earthquakes. And he's like, shut the fuck up. And then he's like on fire and in the doorway.
Yeah.
Now he's blocking the exit and on fire. Everybody's fucked. It's great.
Everybody.
It's really fun. But yeah, I mean, that's how you start a cursed building in the first place. You build it on tainted land, you know?
Yeah.
So the Goldfield Hotel was reported to be the most spectacular hotel in Nevada at the time of its completion in 1908, and it was said that champagne is said to have flowed down the front steps in the opening ceremony. Ooh. Is there
God, I
anything
love that.
nicer than people wasting champagne?
Oh, I know. When you christen a ship? Christen a
Yeah,
ship?
you just fucking smash it on the front of the boat.
Yeah.
But like this is like that's like kind of okay because it's one bottle. But this is like, hurry, pour all the champagne down the steps, and they're like, why? And they're like, people will think the place is nice, and they're like, no, they'll not want to come in because the floor's sticky, and they're like, no, you don't get it. Fire Charlie, and he's like, I'm on fire in the doorway. People are gonna want to come in here. So its 150 rooms were fitted with pile carpets, whatever that is, many with private baths. They had public baths in hotels. That's kind of weird. And the lobby was trimmed in mahogany with black leather upholstery and gilded columns. Ooh.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Sexy fucking
We're gonna have
lobby.
to pause we're gonna have to pause real quick.
I gotta go fuck in this lobby.
Gotta go do something in this lobby.
So,
I need to go do something in this lobby.
David, I'm not done. It also featured an elevator and a crystal chandelier.
Yeah, I like that lobby. I want to get lost in this lobby. I just want to have a night with just me, myself, in this lobby.
And the bellboy in the lobby. And the concierge watching.
The bellboy watches.
With the sticky, I want to roll around on the sticky floor. The champagne sticky floor. Anyway, so let's go back to the Goldfield Hotel
God.
before I... So shortly after its construction, mining magnate George Wingfield purchased the hotel and owned it until 1923 when it was sold to Newton Crumley. I love it. I love these fucking names. Newton Crumley. Seems like he's just eating Fig Newtons in his bed. And guess what? He's a messy boy. Crumbs for days.
Oh, Newton Crumley. Oh my God, I might have to use that as a new alias.
You could use that whenever you want, man. They'd be like, oh, yeah, the owner of the Goldfield Hotel. But you don't even know.
Holy shit, that's so good.
You don't even know Crumley's done.
I don't know if I can function after hearing Newton Crumley.
That's what his wife said, too. Because you're about to hear some shit. So, Crumley dug 2 mine shafts below the hotel, hoping to strike gold. However, the shafts were dry, but although the new mine shafts did not contain gold, Crumley did find another use for them, David.
Mm-hmm.
And it wasn't Mountain Dew. So, now the legend varies a little on who the actual culprit was, but many believe that Crumley was rather enamored with a local prostitute named Elizabeth, and rumor has it that when she came to the hotel and announced she was pregnant, and Crumley, afraid of the scandal, decided to chain her up to the radiator in room 109, where she remained until the child was born. Whereas some say Elizabeth died in childbirth, others claim that Crumley murdered her and then threw her and the baby down the old mine shaft below the hotel.
Oh, no.
So I realized, like, after I did this story, I was like, am I just labeling Nevada as, like, the baby murder state? like,
kind of think you are.
everybody- like, the people are like, this is no life for a child in Nevada? Kill it. Hurry, kill it. There's no hope if you're in Nevada. They're like, you can leave Nevada.
The no hope state.
The baby's like, Pa, I can leave Nevada. No, you have to die in the mine shaft. This is the only way. Anyway, so I just like realized that this a little heavy on the baby killing. And
I mean, come to think of it, do you know anybody that was born in Nevada that ever left?
Cotton Eye Joe? I don't know where that
No.
motherfucker is. Oh, actually, I don't even know where he came from either, or where he went.
But where did he go?
He's got cotton eyes. I feel like he has pink.
He doesn't know where
I feel
he's
like he has
going.
pink eye, and they're trying to fucking polish it up.
That's a good
He's
possibility.
just dancing around with pink eye, infecting everybody. And everybody's like, Cotton Eye Joe's kind of a piece of shit, honestly. So
Why does he keep trying to touch my children's eyes?
don't go in that mine shaft. They say Cotton Eye Joe's down there. So, regardless of who her actual murderer was, Elizabeth's ghost haunts the hotel to this day. Her apparition has been said by many guests in has been seen by many guests in room 109, a room that has been described as intensely cold, that always gives me the chills.
That's the type of room I'm looking for.
Yeah.
I like to sleep in the
I'm
cold.
gonna blast that AC all day long. I don't have to pay for it. Keep it cold in there.
I want to shiver when I walk into my hotel room because I've been blasting that AC all day. Because I'm not paying for power. That's not a part of the hotel bill.
I agree. I'm like and Katie she does not like it very
Who?
cold. My girlfriend. I have a girlfriend. She doesn't like
I feel like that joke's not funny
it.
anymore.
No, it's not. You know why? Because I am dating
Been saying it for 114 episodes.
I'm dating a mermaid. So Elizabeth is reported to have long flowing hair while wearing a white gown. Those who have seen her say she appears to be this is very sad because she appears to be very sad and paces the halls calling out for her child. Numerous visitors also report that their cameras do not work in room 109. See, if she was smart, she'd be pacing the mine. I know where the baby is. Yeah. I know where it is. Down in the mine with you in your body. Mm-hmm. So, additional ghosts haunt the hotel. George Winfield himself is said to haunt the hotel as well. His trademark cigar smoke and random ashes are quite common around the abandoned hotel. I feel like
Did he own his own like cigar place?
I think he was like always smoking a fucking cigar walking around, and now like people are like, because they do have like caretakers. The hotel's abandoned to this day, and they do have like caretakers who sometimes take like people on tours, and like sometimes ghost hunters come in and stuff like that. But they said they find like cigar ashes around like random places, and I was like, either you're a bad security guard and somebody's smoking cigars up there, or there's a ghost.
Kids are breaking in and smoking doobers.
He's smoking a stogie, and he's like, "Where's your pool? I want to swim some laps. I'm gonna get the fucking gold." So, two other apparitions who walked the halls of the hotel reportedly committed suicide in third-floor rooms. While their identities remain largely unknown, it is believed one is a man who jumped to his death, and the other is a woman who hanged herself. So, classic haunted hotel shit, Additionally, this is my favorite. Additionally, the main dining room is haunted by a malevolent ghost nicknamed the Stabber, who randomly attacks visitors with a large kitchen knife before disappearing. Whereas nobody has been injured or killed, numerous guests have been rather frightened by the experience because we're okay, guys. It's a ghost knife. You're not gonna get hit, but it's gonna look like it for a second.
Yeah.
So finally, 3 small ghosts believed to be children are said to haunt the main lobby staircase, and these spirits enjoy sneaking up behind visitors, tapping their backs, and then running away laughing, which is almost like...
I'm okay with that.
That's kind of like more terrifying than the Stabber, though. Like,
I do not agree at all.
I guess you're right. Some people have an aversion to being chased by a man.
To being touched.
To being chased by a woman with a knife, and I guess that's you. And I don't like children pulling on my pants and all of a sudden turning around and they're not there no more. I guess I'm just afraid of children in general. So today it is still in renovation and has switched hands many times as people try to revive it to its old glory. But I say you can change the carpet, you can polish the brass, but you can't scrub the tragedy out of such a building. But if you don't believe me, take a trip to Goldfield and see if you can convince the stabber to hang up her blade. And my other ending line was, you can take the baby out of the mine, but you can't take the mine out of the baby, which is not okay. And that's why it was the alternate, but I had to read it.
I'm glad you shared that.
I don't like to leave things in the can. I'll never be able to say that again. And, I'm glad I did.
Yeah?
I'm glad I did.
I'm glad you did too.
So that's my story. That's Nevada for you on Halloween. Ratified on Halloween.
Now, Tobin, as far as I'm aware, neither one of us have children. You have your 2 black cats who get in bare-knuckle brawls before each episode recording that I get to listen to you scream at as I hear cats fighting. And,
Too real.
And I have my lazy-ass Boston Terrier who I have to put in 3 rooms away to block out his snoring from coming up on the recordings. But what I'm going to talk about is the fear of every American parent around this time of year. The spooky time, where everybody's bones crawl out of their mouths while they're asleep to go laugh and dance at the closest cemetery. Of course, I'm talking about Halloween.
That's a scary idea, that your skeleton leaves your body and you're just a big old sack just sitting in bed.
Yeah, the whole month. You don't know about this? You don't set up your night camera?
You know, I do wake up sometimes feeling a little sore. Do a little bit too much
empty
dance in the graveyard.
You wake up in the middle of the night feeling a little empty.
I feel like I need purpose.
I need calcium.
Help me.
So I will say, I feel like in the past sometimes I try to do some stupid stories. This one's a little more, unfortunately, serious and a little upsetting, I guess you could almost say.
Dude, I just led with like dead babies like galore. So
I know. I just feel like in the past, usually you might do something that's a little more
morbid,
a little more grisly or morbid, and I'll be like, monkeys are smoking cigarettes.
I'd be like, whoa, David, this isn't paranormal at all.
But it's strange.
It is strange.
All right. So, Tobin, what's one of the biggest myths around this glorious holiday?
That Christopher Lloyd isn't at the park with the switchblade eating an apple.
The Christopher Lloyd
isn't
isn't homeless. He's actually probably pretty wealthy.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. You seen that hair, that crazy hair? He needs to buy a lot of shampoo for that.
That's true.
But I don't know. What's one of the crazy myths I'm missing?
The age-old fear of someone putting drugs, poison, broken glass, needles, or razor blades in your children's candy and treats.
See, that's exactly what I was thinking of, the razor blade apple. Everybody knows about the razor blade apple, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God, that would have hurt.
Now, who in their right mind would waste their perfectly good drugs on random kids that won't even appreciate the ride they're about to go on?
You're right, actually. I never even thought about that. Drugs are expensive. Kids are not appreciative.
And also
Why would I
very
do
expensive. That? Kids are expensive.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously that's a joke. Like, a stranger giving kids drugs as candy it's funny to joke about, but realistically is not a funny concept.
No, but do people actually do that? Because that is that is a waste. Like, I don't know who's getting joy out of that. That's not fun at all.
Yeah, no one would do that. So many people live by these strict ideas, preventing their children from going out and experiencing this wonderful event that seems almost ceremonial as a child entering a new phase of their lives. I remember the first time I got to go trick-or-treating without my parents. It was so exciting until a 17-year-old kid beat me up when I was 9 and took all of my candy.
Did that happen?
That happened, but little did he know I knew exactly who he was.
Oh, no. What happened, David? I want to know about this. I hope this is your story.
No, we'll talk about that later. So where did this idea come from? Where did the whole idea of like people tampering with kids' candy and putting drugs or dangerous things in them? Claims that candy were poisoned or tampered with gains its general knowledge during the Industrial Revolution. That's how old it is.
My favorite revolution.
Who doesn't love the Industrial Revolution?
Also, the Bolshevik Revolution is another one of my favorite revolutions.
And why is that?
Because of the name. Bolshevik. I don't know much about it.
Yeah, that's all you need to know.
Yes.
So when food production moved from being, made down the street where it was trusted, because you know how it is. Once your Snickers are being made 50 miles away instead of 5 miles away, that 45-mile difference is where the heroin needles get stuck in the Snickers.
Yeah, sometimes you you're hungry for a Snickers. Sometimes you eat the Snickers and you're hungry for more Snickers.
Well, I mean, a week later, you're doing anything for another Snickers bar.
I'll suck a dick for a Snickers.
So, to make things worse, doctors publicly claimed that they were treating children poisoned by candy every day.
What?
Yeah. And if children had eaten candy and became ill, it was widely assumed that the candy was poisoned by the public, even though no actual illness or deaths were officially reported from tampered candy.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy because, like, I know there's weirdos out there. I know there's freaks out there. But, like, if your hobby's, like, poisoning candy, like, I mean, we talked about many stories where that Japanese store where they're poisoning candy and Tylenol and stuff like that. It's like, you got to get new hobbies, man. Like, I don't even know why you're doing this. It's perfectly good candy. You like candy. I like candy. No one likes poison. You're wasting your time, buddy.
Some people might like it. So,
you're right.
I mean, technically, booze, you're poisoning your body.
Yeah, but that's fun poison. No one's ever died of drinking too much alcohol.
Hey, cheers, eh?
Oh, David, you need to slow down, buddy.
We're almost done. I can drink as much as I want.
What is that, Listerine?
It's a Sessions little.
Oh, my God. It's
little
brown Listerine.
Little short bottle.
You got brown Listerine, everybody.
This would be you if you were a bottle.
I'm tall as shit. Please continue.
So, due to the fears, parents and full communities would restrict trick-or-treating and develop alternatives that were considered safe, such as events held at Christian churches. This myth also prompted the sale of individually wrapped candy and brand name candies and discouraged people from giving out homemade treats to the children.
Like Rice Krispies.
Or apples, because it was always like that thing.
That's
like,
a treat. That's a homemade treat. Who's fucking making an apple at their
if
house?
You understand that the apples people would give out were like dipped in caramel.
Oh,
they weren't just handing out fucking apples, man. They
no,
were, like,
some people
dipped in
hand out
shit.
apples, dude. I've seen these old cartoons. Some people are boxes of raisins, apples, because they disagree with like.
Yeah, but
like
those were like the bad
sugars.
people, right?
Yeah, those are the bad people.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that put the razor blades in the apples.
But,
Fucking psychos.
But
you'll be able to figure out who the person who put the razor blade in the apple is because they're the only fucking person that put apples in your kid's candy.
It's true. But even though they tried to ban all this stuff, it never stopped your local asshole dentist from handing out toothbrushes and toothpaste.
Why would he do that? Do you want to make less money, buddy?
Did you ever get those?
No.
Oh, I got those plenty.
Really?
Oh yeah.
You had a lot of toothbrushes after?
So many. I would carve the ends into shivs and take them to the schoolyard.
I only fuck with Sonicare Electric. Put some new heads in there. They cost like $23 on Amazon. I'm not paying for them. You pay for them.
So that's the secret behind your pearly whites.
Yeah, they're rotten though on the inside.
On the backside.
On the backside. I only brush the outside. Backside, all rotten.
So a myth without some support can't get far. So these are a few stories about this so-called treat tampering. In 1959, a Californian dentist, there you go, William Shine, gave candy-coated laxative pills to trick-or-treaters.
Why?
Yeah, he was charged with outrace of public decency and unlawful dispensing of drugs.
Someone's like, drop a new law, like lawfully made kid shit his pants. Unlawfully made kid shit their pants. Like, what the fuck's going on, man? Like, He really hated. Like, I don't get it. He's a dentist. Like, this is the
what's
best
bringing
day
his
of
money
the
in.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you fucking idiot. If you're a proctologist, maybe give out laxatives. So people are like, my asshole's all fucked up. They do assholes, right? Proctologists, right? They check assholes.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I
they
just know
want
them
to
as
give out
butthole
laxatives.
doctors.
Yeah, so everybody goes, something wrong with my butthole, and then they show up and they go, check my butthole, and he goes, I gave you laxatives by accident. Sorry.
Sorry about that, bud.
Sorry,
Eat the sponge.
So,
In 1964, a disgruntled Long Island, New York woman gave out packages of inedible objects to children who she believed were too old to be trick-or-treating. The packages contained things such as steel wool, dog biscuits, and ant traps, which were clearly labeled with the word poison. But you know what? It's Halloween. I'm sure there's plenty of candy that has silly poison stickers on them. I would eat them.
yeah, like candy that doesn't look like candy. It looks like something else. Like a pair of scissors or what's something else kids eat that
X-Acto blades.
Yeah, swallow X-Acto blade.
Although no one was injured, she was prosecuted and pled guilty to endangering children. In that same year, media reports of lye-filled bubble gum was given out in Detroit and rat poison was given out in Philly. But these media reports were never confirmed to be real, probably because the undercover cops that were investigating ate the poison.
They ate it?
No, I'm just joking.
I was going to say...
I think they were just rumors. They were nothing was ever confirmed about it.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of these are just like, I mean, not like a lot of them, but like you go, oh, fuck. Like, these cops are like, there's lye out there. There's poison bubble gum. And you're like, is it really, or is it just like parents being like, you guys have to really be careful because, somebody could fuck with the candy, technically.
Yeah. So I don't do you know what lye is?
Lye is the most basic shit you can buy, right? It's on the base scale. It's the most basic stuff, correct?
I'm not sure. I had Googled it. Lye is sodium hydroxide, which can burn your skin if it gets wet.
Yeah,
so I don't think ingesting it would be good.
People would use it to clean.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I don't know if people listening would know what it was, so I decided to do a quick Google because I figured if I didn't know what it was, maybe someone else didn't know it. Anybody else not know what it is? Am I the only one that doesn't know what it is?
I'm a liar. I don't even know what it is. Or do I know what it is if I'm a liar? Right? Think about it.
It hurts to think about it.
It's like I'm a lie aficionado, so I'm a liar, or am I a liar because I don't know what it is?
You hurt David brain like a fire. Hurt David's skin.
Stop pouring lie on brain.
We're not going down that. No, we're not going down that rabbit hole again. So now you're thinking those stories, no one actually got hurt. Well, here are a few of the misattributed stories to poisoning deaths that were widespread for fear. In 1970, Kevin Tostin, a 5-year-old boy from the Detroit area, died after finding and eating his uncle's heroin stash. Why are you laughing?
I thought you said hair for a second.
His hair stash.
But, I mean, is that such an uncle? Our uncles are the only ones allowed to have a heroin. We're like the heroin dealer's like, are you an uncle? And he's like, yeah. He's like, here's a lot of heroin. You better leave this out for a kid to find. But that happened. That really happened.
That really happened. The family tried to protect the uncle by saying the heroin was sprinkled on the child's Halloween candy, which is really fucked up to be like, oh,
what?
The uncle has a heroin addiction. I don't know if he's addicted. He just had a heroin. The kid ate it, and they decided to try to cover it up. That's
what. I just don't get like what parents in their right mind would be like not so fucking mad at the maybe the dad was pulling one of those movie things where he goes, he didn't do it, so like then he could like kill him later so he wouldn't go to prison, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't want the uncle to go to prison so I could just go kill him later.
I highly doubt that. That's a movie.
That's
a movie thing.
That's a movie thing. It's called Death Sentence with Kevin Bacon. You should see it. It's really good.
Hey, bud, Spider-Man?
I don't know what that means.
He's not out there web slinging. So in 1978, Patrick Weidelhold, a 2-year-old boy from Flint, Michigan, died after eating Halloween candy. However, toxicology tests found no evidence of poisoning, and his death was determined to be from natural causes. But
Peanut allergy?
Who knows? But it was another situation where people spread, oh, it was poison candy, but it was, something else.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
And in 1990, Ariel Katz, a 7-year-old girl from Santa Monica, California, died while trick-or-treating. Early media reports blamed poison candy despite her parents telling the police that she had been diagnosed with a serious medical condition of an enlarged heart, which was, in fact, the unfortunate cause of her death.
Oh.
I told you, this one's sad.
Yeah.
Kids are dying.
Oh, man. At least she got a Halloween.
Okay,
I love Halloween.
So now it's time to dive into the big story I got today, and that is the story of Ronald the Candyman Clark O'Bryan.
Who's that?
Well, O'Bryan didn't just get one nickname, the Candyman. He was also given the nickname the Man Who Killed Halloween.
Oh, okay.
So O'Bryan lived with his wife, Diane, in Deer Park, Texas. Huh?
His wife's name's Dan?
Her name is Diane, Daynene.
Oh, Diane.
Is that Diane? I don't
know. Danny?
I have no idea.
Okay.
But so they lived in Deer Park, Texas with their 2 children, son Timothy and daughter Elizabeth. O'Bryan worked as an optician at Texas State Optical and was a deacon at the Second Baptist Church, where he also sang in the choir, along with being in charge of the local bus program.
What?
So it's always the ones that are seemingly perfect and live good lives, right?
Yeah, I always think like the guy in charge of the bus program is usually the guy who's the most perfect out of all of them.
Well, I'm okay. Come on, you pick the one out of all the others.
Well, he's just in charge of the bus. What are you doing? You just like, I drive the bus for the church? Like,
no, I think he like helped schedule buses and shit. I don't think he drove the bus, but he's optician. That's a good job. He was a deacon. He sang in the choir.
You're right. He's a clean track record right now.
Oh, for now.
For now, he killed fucking Halloween.
So on October 31st, 1974, O'Bryan took his 2 children trick-or-treating in a Pasadena, Texas neighborhood. O'Brien's neighbor and his 2 children tagged along. At one point in their journey, the group came along to a house where the residents failed to answer the door, where the children and the neighbor parents got, they weren't going to wait around, so they decided to move along to the next house, where O'Bryan held back to the vacant house. Eventually, O'Bryan caught up with the group with candy in hand, and he said that they eventually arrived at the door and gave him 5 packets of Pixie sticks, which he distributed among the children, including the 5th Pixie stick, which he gave to a 10-year-old boy that they knew from the church when they got home. So you follow me? He got the candy, he gave it out to the 4 kids he's with, and he gave one to a random kid that they weren't with when they got home.
I mean, Pixie sticks alone are sus candy, right?
They got banned in my middle school.
Yeah, I mean, like, think about them not because of like what they could be, but like someone's like, here's a tube of sugar, and they're like, oh, okay, are you guys gonna like put the sugar like in a candy? They're like, no, we literally give so much less of a shits than all the other candy companies. We literally are just giving you some sugar that kind of tastes like a blueberry or like a strawberry or something like that.
It didn't
or
have
just
any
sugar.
flavor. It was a sugar.
Yeah, like the big ass ones too that like I usually didn't know. Yeah, I didn't know how Pixie sticks work, so I put like my mouth on them, and then it get like all crusted up in like the inner part of like the Pixie stick, and you couldn't even get the sugar out because it was all wet and stuff. I was so stupid.
Yeah, they banned them at my middle school because kids were snorting them.
Oh.
And I remember like kids would like go by them and so at my middle school we had a rule that you could like quote unquote leave campus, which was across the street where they had like a Mexican restaurant, like a bagel place, like a Dairy
Pixie
Mart,
stick
which is
store.
like it's like a Dairy Mart, which is like a 7-Eleven kind of thing.
Yeah.
And they had to like tell the Dairy Mart to stop selling Pixie sticks to the middle school kids.
No.
So we had kids in middle school that would have like Pixie sticks in their like inside coat pocket and be like selling them on the campus.
Did people think they're getting high off that shit?
I have no idea.
Do you remember the rumor that like Fun Dips, like the white thing was made out of cow shit?
I don't think I ever heard that.
Oh man,
That was my favorite part. I'd throw away the powder. I'd just eat the stick.
Makes sense. Shit
Yeah.
breath.
Whoa. Come on, man. That's not cool.
Please continue.
So before bed, Timothy, his son, asked to eat some candy from the Knight's Hall and picked the one Pixie stick his father had given him. Timothy had trouble getting the candy powder from the wrapper, so his father helped him loosen the candy.
Oh no.
After tasting it, Timothy complained the candy tasted bitter, so O'Brien gave the boy a Kool-Aid to wash down the taste. Nothing like a shit ton of sugar before bed for, a little kid.
And a Kool-Aid.
Yeah, like what? So Timothy,
Is that powdered sugar not good enough for you? You want some liquid sugar?
Yeah, you want some powdered sugar in water? So Timothy then immediately complained that his stomach hurt and ran to the bathroom where he uncontrollably vomited and convulsed. O'Brien later claimed that he held Timothy while he was sick and the child went limp in his arms. Timothy O'Brien died en route to the hospital less than an hour after consuming the quote-unquote candy.
Oh.
Timothy's death from poisoned Halloween candy prompted a widespread fear in the community, and tons of parents gathered all of the candy from their children and handed them over to the police in fear of them possessing poison. The police did not initially suspect any foul play from the father, and it wasn't until the autopsy revealed that the Pixie stick he consumed was laced with a fatal dose of potassium cyanide.
No.
4 out of the 5 Pixie sticks that O'Brien had distributed were recovered by the police, and the parents of the fifth child became hysterical and they couldn't find the candy. The parents rushed up to the child's room to find their son asleep, holding the unconsumed poison candy.
Shut the fuck up.
The boy had been unable to open the staple that sealed the wrapper shut. And I'm assuming anybody listening knows a Pixie stick. There's not supposed to be a staple in there.
Maybe in the big ones, like the big plastic ones, not like the paper
I think these
ones.
were just like the generic small ones. This is the 70s.
This is the 80s. Oh, 70s?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
So, being that all the wrappers had been cut and then mixed with cyanide and then resealed with a staple. According to pathologists who tested the Pixie sticks that Timothy consumed, or the Pixie sticks that were brought in, the candy had enough poison to kill 2 grown adults, while the other 4 candies that they collected contained enough poison to kill 3 to 4 full-sized adults each.
Oh my god.
So O'Brien originally told police he couldn't remember which house the group got the Pixie sticks from, which the police found surprising because it was raining that night and the group only went down 2 streets to collect candy. And when suspicions became more intense, they found out that none of the houses in the area were giving out Pixie sticks. Things are getting a little suspicious.
Damn.
So O'Brien sticks with his story. Now I'm thinking about sticks was a bad word. O'Brien sticks with his story, saying that the house that did not answer eventually came to the door and handed him the candy. He said he never saw the man, just an arm, and it was hairy. He added that in. Unfortunately for O'Brien, over 200 people can confirm the homeowner to be at work the whole night because he worked at the airport.
The homeowner.
The homeowner.
They said Hone Omer.
Maybe I did, maybe I didn't.
But Jesus Christ, I mean, this guy, I want to know why, but like, I mean, I guess it kind of like when you're like, oh, I'm going to poison a candy and just throw it in the bag. But like cops do their due diligence and they're like, we know where you went. Where did you guys go? Okay. And then he's like, an arm came out of the door. It was hairy and it was holding a pixie stick. And they're like, okay, like which house? Like you obviously remember his arm. And then he's like, I can't remember the house.
Oh no, he told him what house it was. So they looked into it and the guy was at work, the homeowner.
Oh shit. So like he wasn't even there in the first place.
Yeah, there's no one home.
What the fuck? He's so stupid.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Well,
So-
why? I mean, you'll get to it probably.
The
but-
police furthered their investigation to find that O'Brien was over $100,000 in debt and had a history of not being able to hold a job. In a 10-year span leading up to this point, he had held 21 jobs in 10 years.
Oh my god.
The police also discovered that he had recently taken out life insurance policies on both of his children 1 month before Halloween,
Oh god.
which each had $20,000 for each child, meaning that with the various policies he signed up for, it would equal out to $60,000, which is barely half of what he needed.
Oh my god. He's so
Yeah.
God damn it.
Pretty quickly, the police figured out that O'Brien had killed his son and planned on killing 4 more, including his daughter, to hide his trail, killing the other random kids.
That shit is like, I mean, it's bad enough like what he did, but to be like, I'm gonna cover up my trail by just needlessly killing more children.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, but thankful that that shit didn't work and he got caught, being charged with capital murder and 4 counts of attempted murder. After all of this, it took the jury 46 minutes to decide he was guilty and 71 minutes to sentence him to the death penalty.
whoa.
See, now, this is big old Texas.
I was about to say,
They love the death penalty, especially in the
hell yeah.
70s.
Light him up, Longhorns.
So, Ronald... Hook 'em horns. So, Ronald the Candyman Clark O'Brien would die from the lethal injection.
He should just poured a pixie stick in his fucking mouth.
Yeah, I believe outside of the courtroom, one of the people, like, cheering for his death screamed, like, trick or treat at him while he was going into, like, his death.
Oh, well, I'm not even mad about that.
Yeah,
That's
a good one. So this is the end of my spooky little Halloween themed edition here, and wish it could have been a tad bit more lighthearted, but you get what you get.
yeah, it's Halloween. You know, it's a Halloween themed one, and seems like a lot had kids on this one.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess the message you can take away from this story is don't buy into the whole myth of people trying to kill your kids with tainted Halloween candy. If your kid dies, chances are it's because of you.
Oh god. Oh god.
Was that not good? Was that bad?
I don't know, man.
Was that naughty?
I'm not a parent, but you know, just stay safe out there, you know, like check your kids' candy. Most of it's probably not going to be tainted or anything
Most
like
of
that.
it. You got like a 75% chance of it not being tainted.
I mean, I feel like every almond joy that's in there is probably a tainted piece of deviled candy.
I mean, let's be real. Like, people aren't going to be trick or treating.
No, I mean, who knows? Like I said, if everybody just be Michael Myers from Halloween this Halloween, you got the mask on, you're not gonna be breathing on anybody, you're gonna be looking good too. Scary. It's Halloween.
White
Do
and
it.
pasty.
Exactly. What's his name? William Shatner. That was his original face, spray painted white.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. So I mean, just stay safe out there. Whether we're talking about COVID, whether we're talking about poison candy, whether we're talking about drunk drivers or people driving around in cars and you crossing the street, just stay safe out there because this is a fun holiday, even if it is a scary, spooky, crazy holiday. the main the main reason we're doing it is because it is fun. So you guys should definitely stay safe out there and just be aware that the freaks come out at night, especially on Halloween. And
Houdini.
And Houdini died.
No,
So, I mean,
Houdini did the song "Freaks Come Out at Night."
what?
Yeah,
Houdini died on Halloween. You know that, right?
and the beautiful R&B music group Houdini wrote "Freaks Come Out at Night."
Wow,
The
that's
freaks
fun.
come out at night. Love that
That's-
song.
Yeah, I don't listen to it often, but yeah, Houdini was born on Halloween and died on Halloween. So look at that. It's all coming full circle. So everybody have a safe Halloween out there. If you guys, I think that wraps up our episode for tonight.
Or
So,
espionage.
if you guys want any more information, go to our Instagram, Camp Strange Podcast. We have all the hyperlinks. If you click the little bio, you buy merch. You could rate, review, subscribe on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on any other place that you find your podcast. And if you want to send us something, you can send it to campstrange@gmail.com. And we're ready to hear your scary stories, or just send us whatever you want. I think that kind of wraps it up, honestly. We hope that you guys have an amazing Halloween. We hope you enjoyed these stories, even though they were a little sad sometimes. We try to make them fun too, you know.
Should we do a what we got? What else we got for old time's sake?
David, yeah, let's do it, okay?
Halloween theme.
Dude, what do we got?
I got a monkey paw.
Oh, yeah? Well, right here, I got a Hulk Hogan wig. It's bald on the top, and it's got silky blonde hair on the sides, and it's got a hot dog skin.
And I was thinking this is gonna be Halloween themed, but I'll let that one pass.
That was a wig for your Hulk
Okay,
Hogan
costume,
costume.
yeah.
Okay?
I got an unraveled mummy. It's just the bandages, but boy, they're bloody.
I got that chocolate bar from Trader Joe's that's it's like a baking chocolate, but you're just gonna freak a kid out if you just when he comes up, just dump that big whole hunkin' chocolate bar right into his big old pillow sack and real freak him out.
I got a whole pig dipped in chocolate.
I got a wax vampire teeth thing. And they fucking suck.
I was gonna go with the plastic vampire teeth next. You son of a bitch.
Wait, is it wax vampire teeth, or is it wax lips or something like that?
It's wax.
I don't know.
I mean, I'm sure there are some wax vampire teeth, but it's typically wax lips.
Ugh,
Yeah,
those are gross.
I got some big old bolts that you can put on your neck, and you can look like a Frankenstein monster.
I got a jack-o'-lantern, and I took the insides out, and I kind of hung it out the mouth so it looked like he was like throwing up because like he had too many pumpkin spice lattes. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
I got the Reaper's scythe, and it's good for cutting up pumpkin pie.
I got my Austin Powers costume. And I'm walking up and I'm going, yeah, baby. And everyone's laughing because it's 1999 and it is so funny right now. I'm going to go, shagadelic, baby.
I think we should end it on that one.
That's a good one. Throw
really
those
good one.
fucking Austin Powers teeth. Yeah, baby. So
Oh my
funny.
God, no. That's
Very,
that
very
was
funny.
just like Borat before Borat.
It was the first Borat. And it's
It really
great.
Austin Powers was the first Borat.
You heard it here first. And David, do you have anything to say before we head out?
Happy Halloween.
Ooh, there we go. That's what we wanted to say. And don't forget to stay strange.